At the end of the day, the most important opinion is your own. You only have one life, and you should enjoy it the best you can while you still got it. You like what you like, and no matter what anyone says, you never let someone detract you from liking something. Unless it's something horrible and illegal. But like, if you like a movie that other people hate, or if you like a video game that people hate, it's perfectly okay to still like that thing. As objective as people like to or try to be, the truth is that everyone's own individual taste is subjective. Anyway, sometimes though, I do just. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by Ricky's dancing. I wonder how much budget went into that, but anyway, uh, okay. But anyway, even though everybody's own individual opinion matters, it is important to listen to other people's perspective. Get an idea of the other side of the coin. Or sometimes I'll watch a review to see if something's worthy of purchase. But after seeing mixtape, well, actually no, it was before mixtape. I'm just using mixtape as a clickbait. But yeah, seeing mixtape, the game that came out this year, gets so much praise despite the fact that it has horrible music, horrible dialogue, graphics that aren't even impressive, and virtually zero gameplay whatsoever. And this was the game that a lot of these professional critics gave a 10 out of 10. And you gotta remember, these are professional critics, you know? Like, getting that kind of job is not easy. An easy job to get would be something like working at a minimum wage restaurant, or at a convenience store, or at a dump, or driving a truck or something. Being a game journalist, there is, at least being a successful journalist, you got to go through some loops and holes and stuff just to make it big in the industry. And my God, after seeing so many YouTubers and professional, and I say that in quotation, game critics give mixtape a high review score, defend mixtape, I pretty much lost all faith in these types of people. Like, when that new Wolverine game comes out, I'm not listening to them. I'll just see what the users have to say. When GTA 6 comes out, I mean, I can't really trust any critic with that. I mean, IGN, they practically give every game an 8 out of 10. That's why they're so boring. As horrible as anti woke critique is, at least, well, no, never mind. I was going to say at least they're more honest, but sometimes they feel a little bit less honest, to be honest. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, seeing so many people suspiciously give mixtape such a high review score, I just can't trust them with reviews. I used to actually trust Skill Up, and when people started calling Skill Up Shill Up, I was like, okay, you guys are being too harsh on Skill Up. He's not a shill. I mean, yeah, his Lost Judgment review was terrible. If you don't know what that is, Lost Judgment is a spinoff of the Yakuza franchise, and he reviewed Lost Judgment, which is a sequel to Judgment, and he didn't even play the first Judgment game. And Skill Up's review was like, "Oh, I don't like this game. It's weird how you play as an adult that beats up teenage bullies." I was like, "Okay, yeah, Skill Up has some bad taste. Not everybody likes Yakuza. That's perfectly fine." But then I see him review Mixtape and give it all this praise. And again, this is a game that doesn't even really have gameplay in it. It has horrible dialogue, and he gives the game like a glowing positive review score. And he also just so happened to get like to get to interview the mixtape creators, and mixtape is also backed up by a very rich and wealthy company. I wonder why the game got so many positive review ratings from critics. Yeah, I do believe that game journalists, at least the mainstream ones, are paid off. I mean, that's been a thing since the whole Kane and Lynch event that happened a decade ago. And there's been other moments in history too, where games that don't deserve to have a high score suspiciously get a high score. But, at least back then, you could kind of chalk it up to, hey, maybe this critic just has bad taste. But no, that's not the case anymore. It's 100% confirmed that, yeah, critics are paid off to give games, especially AAA popular ones, a very high score. Or they're also paid off to give woke progressive games a high score as well, like Mixtape. And I just can't trust them anymore. I can't even trust. I can't trust G-Man Libs. I can't trust Skill Up. I can't trust the Act Man. You know, can't trust Angry Joe. The only game critics I do trust are Thor High Heels and Some Call Me Johnny, and that's really about it. I mean, I don't even know if I can trust Spear Hunter anymore. Because the thing about Thor High Heels and Some Call Me Johnny, I don't trust them because I align with their opinions. I mean, Thor High Heels, he reviews games I haven't even heard of, and Some Call Me Johnny doesn't like Earthbound that much. But I trust them because the reviews feel a lot more honest and integral. But the problem is that their upload frequency, they don't usually review the newest game. So the mainstream critics that have to review the newest game, I can't trust them anymore. And it's I hate to say it, but I'm actually okay with seeing someone like G-Man Libs get more hate after that awful Halo review of his, where he even got characters' names wrong. Like, come on, man. You're do these people even really like games? To be honest, I don't think they actually like games, because, like, for example, right? I love Persona 5. Like, Persona 5 is a great game, but critics, they lark to it and they treat it like the first JRPG ever to do certain things that JRPGs have already done. Like, you'll hear critics LARP and meat ride something like Persona 5, but then they'll ignore something like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or the Trail series, because those less popular games or less popular JRPGs, those aren't the priority. Those aren't the ones that you can milk off of, like Persona 5. And there are other examples too. But I'll just stop yapping now.